Wilo Gamer. I don't know if it counts as being first when you're here 12 hours early. Oh man, but appreciate the effort. We're back. We're back again. All right. Let's see. Let's get some messages pinned up here. Good morning. I'm typically writing C# or TypeScript. Hey, what's up, Stefan? How are you, man? Appreciate you being a member for a month or more now. I think you're over a month being a member. I appreciate you. Good morning, Vietnam. It's a great movie. Great movie. Good to see you. ESFONL. I gotta find a better way to say your username than just saying the letters. SFUNIL? SFUNIL or something like that. Good, no classes today. Awesome. Hey, that's great. Hey, Stefan, whatever happened? Remember last year, or was it last year? Well, I guess remember at the beginning of the year when you told me that you were gonna lose like a year of school because there was issues with, was it issues with like the staff and faculty being on strike or something like that, protesting? Whatever happened to that whole situation? Did that all get worked out? Manish, hello, what's today's plan? Hey, what's up, Manish? Today's plan is to basically continue where we left off yesterday with Learning Go. I think we're going to go through a website called Learn Go with Tests, which was one of the other recommendations that chat had made way back when, like when this whole Learn Go thing started. We started talking about it on stream, so I think we're here. We're going to learn this, or we're going to practice using that. Also, I don't know why I put hyphens here. Yep, so that's what we're going to try to get started on today. I think actually we'll get to move out of the browser too. We'll get to use NeoVim to do this stuff with. That'll be nice. All right. Sorry, I had to type a message there. Okay, pin that message. Stefan, it was big protests in Serbia. Still are just moved focus from uni, so I managed to pass still with enough to be on a budget. Nice. Well, that's good, man. I was wondering how that all ended up playing out. I hadn't heard you talk about it much, but I hope things are going well. I'm glad you don't have classes today, but I'm glad you're still in uni. I'm glad you're still getting to make progress towards your goals, but that sounded like it was kind of a nightmare there for a minute. There's just 10 of you left in IT. Wow. So what happened to everybody else? Did they get cut because of budgets or what? Or did they voluntarily leave? Ooh, didn't get enough budget. Dude, that sucks. I feel so bad for those people. That's terrible. They thought they were going to be able to get a degree and... Dang, that sucks, man. Well, they should have worked harder. Damn. Stefan's got fucking... Stefan's got Mamba mentality there, huh? funny. Renee Nell. Hey, what's up, Renee Nell? How are you? Good to see you. All right. Well, hold on. I think I have some comments I need to answer on my YouTube channel. Yeah, one sec. Let me answer these really quick. Well, it wasn't like a rang list to get in budget, just they didn't have enough points because they didn't pass enough exam. That's on them. Ah, okay. So it wasn't like a bureaucratic thing where they were like, "Sorry guys, we know we let you in, but now we don't have enough money to pay." Yeah, okay. I feel you. I thought the situation was like the university kind of did them dirty, but what you're saying makes more sense. They just didn't meet expectations, so to speak. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I've been trying to keep up with all the comments on my YouTube channel. I had 5 this morning, which is quite a few for me. All right, now ready to go. Time to jump into learning Go with Tess. You do it, Stefan. You get that coffee, man. Let's get caffeinated together. Let's get caffeinated. What's up, Clippy brother? Hey, what's up, Lamp? Lamp is also one of our YouTube members, and we appreciate him. Hello, I love Lamp. Good to see you, man. All right, I'm probably gonna need another cup of coffee here in like 15 minutes, so we'll see how much. Okay, let's see. What are we doing here? Support me. I'm proud to offer this resource for free, but if you wish to give me some appreciation, tweet me, buy me a coffee, sponsor me on GitHub. Well, let's tweet on him. Let's tweet at him first. Then we can buy him a coffee once we get to the end of this thing. Seems like a nice enough guy. We gotta log into my X account. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. I shut off the music. Get it together, Steven. Jeez. Act like you've been here before. Greatest movie ever? What do you mean? Alright, this is the guy, this is the fella, I guess, that, this is the fella who built Engineering Manager and Tippy Tapper, wrote Learn Go with Tests. He's in London, in Kent specifically. Well, thank you very much, man. Let's see, let's give him a message here. Starting to go through Learn Go with Tests this morning. Wanted to say thank you for making it available, and then we'll buy him a coffee at the end of this thing. Oh goodness, X does not believe I'm a real human being. Your account has been locked. We found some unusual activity on your account. To make sure F is safe for everyone, we need you to confirm your identity before you continue using X. Oh god damn it, dude! X took away my last account. What the fuck? Using the arrows, move the person to the indicated seat. I don't know why. I don't know why I found that sus, but it did. Anyways, I got my account unlocked, so I'm back with 2 coffees. Let's go. Yeah, I should have made 2. This was a 2 morning start, and I just made 1. It's an Anchorman reference. Oh yeah, Anchorman is the greatest movie. I am Ron Burgundy. Dylan. Hello, Dylan. Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah. What didn't work? Read the book. I guess we're just thesis. What works for me? When I learn a new programming language, I usually start by messing around in a REPL, but eventually I need more structure. What I like to do is explore concepts, then solidify the ideas with tests. Tests verify the code that I write is correct and documents the feature I have learned. Taking my experience of learning with a group in my own personal way, I'm going to try and create something that hopefully proves useful to other teams, learning the fundamentals by writing small tests so that you can then take your existing software design skills and ship some great systems. What you'll need: a computer. I have that. I have one of those. You'll need to install Go. I have Go installed. We'll need a text editor. NeoVim, fuck the world. I use NeoVim, by the way. Stefan, but this month I'm going without any sugar, so now it's meh. Yeah, there's nothing like a little bit of sweetness to make a coffee feel extra, extra special. Do you still salt your coffee sometimes, Stefan? Ever since you told me about that, I do that now, every now and again. Comfortable using the terminal. Great. Install Go. The official installation instructions for Go are available here. Go modules. This approach is the default build mode since Go 1.116. Therefore, the use of Go path is not recommended. Go modules have only been around since 1.116, but we're on 1.125. That seems new. Black coffee is life. Yeah, I like black coffee myself. I don't put much sugar in. I will drink a vanilla latte, like an iced vanilla latte. But other than that, it's usually just black coffee for me. Vini, Vidi, Vici. That's right. Excuse me. Using modules is pretty straightforward. Select any directory outside of Go path as the root of your project and create a new module with Go mod in it. A Go mod file will be generated containing the module path, a Go version, and its dependency requirements, which are the other modules needed for a successful build. If no module path is specified, Go mod init will try to guess the module path from the directory structure. It can also be overridden by supplying an argument. The built-in documentation provides an overview of all available Go mod commands. Okay, so now we know about modules, I guess. An improvement over the default linter can be configured using Golang CI lint. This can be installed as follows. Well, yeah, but I'm not on a Mac. I guess not very many people on Windows use this. Everything you need, getting started. So can you install this on Windows? Oh yeah, you can install it with Scoop. Or Chocolatey, nice. Scoop or Chocolatey, good deal. Okay, so we got a linter. A big emphasis of this book is the importance of refactoring. Your tools can help you do bigger refactoring with confidence. You should be familiar enough with your editor to perform the following with a simple key combination. Extract inline variable, extract method or function, rename, go format, and run your tests. In addition, to help you with your work, you should be able to view function signature, view function definition, and find usages of a symbol, which I think I can all do, or I already have configured. Awesome Go. I should probably bookmark this. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bookmark this guy. How do you do that in Zen browser? How do you bookmark something? Let's see. Bookmark tab. Awesome. Go. Excuse me. Well, that was a big yawn. See, I need the second cup of coffee. All right, look at us. We're going to write hello world in Go. Let's see. The module is OP. Or that module is OP. Have you tried my tools in your workflow? I have not. No, I have not. Which But aren't all your tools written in shell scripts? And I don't work from a I work from a PowerShell terminal. Hope you can find some of them useful. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would if they weren't. I mean, I'm pretty sure when I looked at all your tools, it was all shell scripts. Oh, should work anyways. Okay, yeah, I'll give them a try. No, but I haven't tried them. I just admired how good you are at writing shell scripts, and then felt bad about myself for a little while. It's traditional for your first program in a new language to be Hello Go. Create a folder wherever you like, put a new file in it called hello.go, and put the following code inside. All right, so we're not going to create a module first. We're just gonna create a normal file. So I think I have some CD. Yeah, I was like, pretty sure I have this. Make dir learn go with tests. Make dir make dir make dir learn go with tests. All right, what did it say to do? I've already forgotten. Create a folder, put a new file in it called hello.go, put the following code inside. Make dir hello world. And then let's do new item, hello.go. Open this up. I guess this will tell me if I have NeoVim correctly configured. Oh god. What's happening? This happens, for some reason this happens with my GitHub theme plugin. So if anybody knows why this happens, but this happens every so often. And the way I fix it is I do this. I go into lazy. I go down to the GitHub theme. I uninstall it. Then I install it. Then I close. And then I open this back up. And it's fixed. Alright, looks like tree sitter's downloading. Booyah. Alright, tree sitter parser for Go has been installed. Nice. Alright. Let's do some work, huh? Let's write hello Go. Hello Go. Hello world. I'm actually going to, I want to type this. So we will say package main. We will import the format package, and then we will call func main. And we'll do format.println. And Copilot really wants to help me out here, but I'm not going to let him. It said position encoding param is required in vim.lsp.util.makeRange params defaulting to position encoding of something. I don't know what that warning's about. Alright, now we write go run hello.go. I feel like this is taking a long time. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming to my streams. I'm officially now a Go developer. I've successfully acquired this new language. This will be all. This will be the end of the Go streams. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Just kidding. Gunheiser, regarding NeoVim GitHub theme, does all your GitHub theme files compiled correctly? I have no idea. I didn't even know my theme files got compiled. Because that error shows whenever themes pre-compiled, color files weren't generated. Yeah, I don't. I have no idea. I just installed the packet. I just installed that package through Lazy and have been using the themes. I don't approve, Steven. Sorry. Crow2525, thanks for the sub. You gotta write a kernel in it first account. Damn. Damn it. Hello World's not good enough? Shit. Then open NeoVim and type GitHub theme compile. Oh, okay. God, if that's all it takes to fix it, GitHub theme compile. It says not an editor command, GitHub theme compile. What is up with this song? Excuse me. Do you use Lazy? Yes, I do use Lazy. So if so, then Lazy sync. Ah, okay. I'll try that next time. Then next time it happens, that's a very easy way to fix it. Hello World won't land me a job. Yeah. Well, here now that I can write Hello World, let's just. I mean, let's skip everything else. Let's just here Indeed.com. Yeah. Okay. Let's start finding out where I can get jobs now. Go developer. Yeah, I think I deserve to be a systems programmer now. There are some people I think that my dog was just sitting here. I don't know where he went. I think I have to take my dog to the vet today. He's been like squinting one eye. He's got like one eye like this sometimes. I don't know why. It just started last night. Go developer pass, next COBOL. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, just learn Hello World in whatever language and add it to your resume and Ducky Dev, that's concerning. The one eye thing, you mean the squinting? Yeah, I looked it up on the internet and the internet kind of scared me last night. So I think we'll probably take him to the vet today. He hasn't done it this morning, but last night he was squinting. But this morning he's not doing it, so I don't know. I don't know if he just had something like in his eye or he hit it on something or what, but new phone? Nice, Ducky Dev. It's always exciting to get a new phone. My wife just got a new phone. She's liking it. I vote for a COBOL import into Go if that exists. I'm gonna write a C# program that calls a Go program that calls a COBOL program. When you write a program in Go, you will have a main package defined within a main func, with a main func inside it. Packages are ways of grouping up related Go code together. The func keyword defines a function with a name and a body. With import fmt, we are importing a package which contains the print line function that we use to print. So how do you test? This is the part this is actually the part that I'm most interested about going through this project, is the fact that we're going to learn how to do testing in the Go world. How do you test this? It is good to separate your domain code from the outside world. The format print line is a side effect, printing to standard out, and the string we send in is our domain. So let's separate these concerns so it's easier to test. Let's see, we have created a new function with func, but this time we've added another keyword string to the definition. This means this function returns a string. Now create a new file called hello_test.go where we are going to write a test for our hello function. Okay. The Redmi Note 14 Pro 5G. Well, let's take a peek. I don't even think I can buy a Redmi phone in the United States. 14 Pro 5G. Ooh, that's a nice looking phone. Yeah, I like that, man. I like the lavender too. Although I kind of prefer darker purples to lighter purples, but yeah, it's pretty. Looks like a nice phone, man. I hope you're enjoying it. I agree. Testing is extremely underrated at school, but it's what separates the coffee drinkers from the tea drinkers. Um, yeah. So I write tests, by the way. Is that the new flex? So instead of being like, I use Arch, by the way, you say I write tests, by the way. If that became the flex, I'd be a happy man. So many people don't give a shit about testing. Just something cheap and small. I don't know what phone to get, honestly. I want something super small. Don't really care about how powerful it is, but I don't want like an Android 8 phone, you know. Yeah. Something super small and relatively inexpensive. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not really up on all the phones, you know. Like I know like the flagship ones, but I don't know kind of the less mainstream. Have you guys seen the dumb phones? The dumb smartphone? There's one that has like an e-ink. Yeah, this one has like an e-ink display, which I find kind of interesting that in a world full of smartphones, somebody's able to make a business off of selling phones that are dumb by choice. It's like the peak of marketing and capitalism. Tests is best. Yes, tests is best. It is best indeed. Now we just need more people to buy into that. Dude, Copilot's kind of really irritating me. Alright, now we're going to create hello underscore test.go. And then what do we put in here? We put... Now create a new file called, package main, import testing, test hello. But how is hello over here? Oh, I guess because they're in the same... Is it just because I declared it within the main package? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I like that convention. I much prefer this convention. All right, now we can run our tests. Also, I'm gonna quit closing NeoVim because I know that angers some people when I just keep closing and opening NeoVim. um, Motorola Razr? Ah, man, the Razr. That brings back memories, dude. When I was in high school, you were the coolest fucking motherfucker if you had a Razr phone. Let's see. Like, senior devs have 3 lines of testing for every line of effective code. Yeah, I mean, I feel better when that's the case. But I feel like a lot of people don't write tests though. I feel like we would be very surprised to find out how many large code bases have very small, unmaintained test suites. AZ anything. Why Golang? Just a cool language to learn. Why Golang? So at some point this year, we were on stream and we were talking about advent of code, and then somebody said something about Go. Oh, it was because TypeScript announced they were rewriting their compiler in Go. So then we started talking about Go as a language, and we started talking about why write the compiler not in C#, but in Go. And then I think I said at one point that, like, well, if Anders Heilsberg thinks Go is a decent language, maybe I should learn it too. And then I think we just decided in that moment that it would be fun to do Go in Advent of Code, or to do Advent of Code in Go this year. So we just picked it. There wasn't really a good reason. We just picked it. Suhas, can I be evil today? No, don't be evil. Why? Why would you ever want to be evil, man? Just be good. Be good. Use your powers for good. Whoops. I want to take over the world. No, don't take over the world. Testing is like technical docs. Super important, but never done. Yeah. Well, it's because, have you guys ever seen the quadrants? I think maybe General Eisenhower came up with this. Let me see if I can find it. 4 quadrants, important versus urgency. I don't know who came up with this. Yeah, I guess it was General Eisenhower. The Eisenhower matrix. This is how I think a lot about things, especially when I look at things that aren't being done and haven't been done. Like, you can largely break tasks right down into these 4 things, especially like if you're at a company and you're looking at work that's being done versus work that's not being done. A lot of the times the work that gets done at companies is in this category, right? Basically anything that's urgent. And a lot of times it feels like you spend a lot of time here in urgent but not important, right? And so I think what you're saying is very true, is like tests and documentation often fall in a not urgent but important category, which means we can get away with not doing them because nobody's expecting them to be done, you know? And so docs and tests just keep getting put off and put off and put off, and then enough time goes by and enough technical debt has built up that now adding tests or doing documentation is this huge chore, right? Then fix the healthcare system, educate. What are you talking about, Suhas? Pixel 4a? I had a Pixel phone and I liked it. I don't think I had a Pixel 4a though, but I have had a Pixel before. Beware of import cycle error in Go from start in longer projects. Good to know, good to know. Graphene OS? I've never heard of Graphene. Chat's all over the place today. Graphene OS. The private and secure mobile OS. Of course you would like this, Stefan. Of course you would like this. AI has reversed my workflow. Now I start with docs, write tests, then write features. Which I think makes sense, right? Because your docs and your tests help build context for the LLM to work against. So I think that makes 100% sense. Suhas, I'm talking about taking over the world and fixing it. The world is rotten. It's my destiny to fix it. I shall rule the world. I will be the god of the new world. Whoa, 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 man. That message started off really good, and then well, I mean, like maybe it didn't even start off good. Like you don't want to take over the world, you don't want to rule over other people, but I think trying to make the world better, that's a good motivation. Stefan, of course I would. Yes, of course you would. This 100% is the mobile OS for you. 100%. The next step is to run the test. Enter Go tests in your terminal. If the test passed, then you are probably using an earlier version of Go. However, if you are using Go.1.16 or later, the test will likely not run. Okay, let's try. Go test. Go mod file not found in current directory or any parent directory. Yep, that's what we got. What's the problem? In a word, modules. Luckily, the problem is easy to fix. Enter go mod init example.com/hello in your terminal. That will create a new file with the following contents. How many people are with me? The revolution starts in Steven's stream. No, do not start a take over the world that originates. Don't start a revolution that has its origins to my stream. Don't do this. Not truly free until I put my own open source satellites into orbit so I can make open source calls and use my open source internet to post pics of my open source chickens. Yes, this is the open source dream. MeekU4, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. I can get a Pixel 4a 5G for $80 here. Oh wow, yeah, that sounds like a great deal. I am gonna go get more coffee though, guys. I know this is like much earlier than normally I go and refill my coffee cup, but I would like another cup of coffee. I still haven't. Pablo would be getting on to me because I still haven't made an ASCII an ASCII art for my "Be Right Back" sign, but I promise I will do that at some point. Be right back. Went to get coffee. I'm also gonna check on my dog. See if he's doing the weird squinty eye thing. The Bite Slayer. What are you building? We're not building anything. We're learning Go right now. There's a pinned message that explains it. And there's a link to Advent of code in the description. Coffee! Yes. Gun has the right idea. Yes, Fano. Get check out dog. Yes. Actually, more like health check dog. Did you pet your dog for me? Yeah, I've been petting my dog, man. I don't know if I was really explicitly thinking about you when I petted him, but he has been petted. So that I feel like it counts the same. Get dog rebase origin health check. Yeah, that one works too. All right, I'll be right back. Somebody say coffee goblin? I like that. All right, I checked on my dog. He seems Opie. Yeah, he seems normal this morning. He's not doing the weird eye thing, but probably should still take him to the vet just to get him checked out. Coffee Goblin is back. I kind of like it. Tyrion. Hey, what's up, Tyrion? I'm back. I was getting coffee. Can I call you Goblin or I push it? No, I mean, I like this idea of a coffee goblin being part of my personality, but I don't want it to be all of my personality. All right, we need to try to figure out how to run this test that we wrote 15 minutes ago. This file tells GoTools essential information about your code. If you plan to distribute your application, you would include where the code was available for download, as well as information about dependencies. The name of the module usually refers to a URL where the module can be found and downloaded. Oh, is this why in a lot of Go packages you see a lot of like GitHub URLs? Like GitHub / somebody's username / place of the repo? I always wondered why 1.99. Hey, what's up, man? How are you? Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. For compatibility with tools we'll start using soon, make sure your module's name has a dot somewhere in it, like the dot in .com of example.com / hello. For now, your module file is minimal and you can leave it that way. To read more about modules, you can check out the reference in the Golang documentation. In some future chapters, you will need to run go mod init some name in each new folder before running commands like go test or go build. Okay, that's good to know. Run. I'm not clear though, what should I be using as the URL? Should I use like stephenfreeborn.com or should I use github.com or what is the URL? Good. Using down at work to do my practice. Nice. Yeah, that's always a good way to use downtime. I mean, I think that's the best part about finding jobs that I think my dog just left again. I think that's one of the best parts of finding jobs that are relatively within your capabilities. There's usually downtime, and then you can use that downtime to practice, learn new things. Yes, you name the module like where it will be hosted. Interesting. Tyrion Ellen, what's written on the cup? Oh, this is you guys ever heard of the company Launch Darkly? They're like a feature flag company. Oh, it also has a Chiefs logo on it. I got this from a JavaScript meetup here in Kansas City last year or at the beginning of this year. They came and did a presentation at the JavaScript meetup, and if you asked questions and were engaged in the presentation, then you got swag. And I got a pair of socks and a coffee cup. It worked out pretty good for me. Dogs are very expensive. Then they look at one point they become our family members. Oh, for sure. Our dog is definitely our family member. I mean, I joke a lot about like he's so much work and super needy and yada yada, but like at the end of the day, yeah, we love our dog. Like today I'll probably take him to the vet and end up spending hundreds of dollars I imagine on him to fix whatever he's got going on with his eye. Yep, it is our responsibility to take care of them. Yep, me and my wife have always said that if you're gonna sign up to get a pet, you've signed up to get that pet for life, you know, and it's your responsibility to take care of them. Couldn't agree more with you, man. I do have my plans laid out. I do want to find some time eventually in the future to nerd out on C++. Yeah, man, go for it. It's great to have things to nerd out on. Okay, let's go back and run our test now. Go test. Is it just me or is it slow? Is it my machine? And it said no test files. Well, that's not what I was expecting, so I guess we get to do our first troubleshooting of the day. So what did I do? I must have named something differently than he did, maybe? I mean, I could have sworn I wrote everything exactly the same. Hello.go, hellotest.go, go mod example.com. Huh. Anybody point out what I've done horribly wrong? It's like being a parent, I guess. Is it like that? Oh, for sure. I always tell people dogs probably are more work than more work than humans to some extent. I mean, babies are a lot of work, but eventually your kids they learn, right? Their capabilities grow. They become more competent, more capable. Your dog is just always your dog. You know what I mean? It's like they're just kind of like perpetually dependent children. You've used Go language with C#, there's no problems. Okay, so what did I do though? I don't understand what I did. Somehow I made this so that it doesn't work properly. Go test. Well, I gotta help my dog. Hold on one second. Test hello. T star testing.t. I have that all right. Do some push-ups in the live stream. Yeah. You want my live streams to become workout live streams? Suhas, can you answer my question? Oh, sorry. Are you going to do any podcasts? I don't have any plans at this point, but if people want me to make a podcast, I will happily try to find some time to make a podcast. Huh. So what have I done wrong? I wonder if it's like some naming convention that I haven't followed. Hello test hello.go. No test files found. I'm just gonna search this and see if Google can help me figure out what I've done wrong. Rust son or Go daughter. Rust son or hello daughter or Go daughter. I don't know. I really like having sons. I mean, if I had a daughter, I wouldn't be mad about it, but boys versus girls are just completely different. They're just completely different energy, you know? Like I have nieces. I have brother. My brother is actually getting ready to have his second kid, and it's going to be a girl. He's going to have a girl and a boy. But yeah, just interacting with my nieces is just they just have a completely different energy to them. So I think I'd probably pick Russ' son just because I feel like I'm probably best as a boy dad. But you know, if I had a daughter who wanted to write Go, that'd be fine as well. Oh, yep, I did. I named my file hello test, and so it should be hello test is what it should be. Oh, yep. Ah, damn it. It was something simple, and I made it complicated. If I just follow instructions. Test hello failed. Got hello world and want hello comma world. Okay. Well, let's fix that up. Hold on, what? It's still fast. Got hello comma world. Oh, it wants lowercase. What the heck? Oh, you don't want an exclamation point. Gosh dang it, man. I just can't. I can't figure out how to fix the test. Now we're passing. Look at us. Now we're passing. If you just follow instructions, what is the difference between you and a robot? Good point, good point. Although that's basically we all live our life just following someone else's instructions for the most part. It takes a long time until human beings realize they can make their own instructions and live their life on their own terms. But for most of us, we're just animated by a set of instructions that either our parents gave us or that society gave us. And in some ways we're also kind of trapped by some of these things, right? Like you can't want to have a family and opt out of some things. You know what I mean? There's a social contract that exists, and sort of your participation in the social contract gets you certain things, but it also means you kind of give up certain things, right? So it's a trade-off. Writing a test is just like writing a function with a few rules. It needs to go in a file with a name like something something underscore test. Okay, so that's a very hard convention, right? This reminds me of like the Ruby on Rails conventions, or what's the other one? The Laravel conventions, right? Where your shit needs to be named very specific things. Or like the using file in C#. If you want to use global usings, you have to have a file called usings or using or global usings. The test function must start with the word test. Okay. The test function takes only one argument only. Okay. To use the pointer testing.t type, you need to import testing. Okay. For now, it's enough to know that your T of type testing T is your hook into the testing framework. So you can do things like t.fail when you want to fail. We've covered some new topics. If, yeah, we already know about that. Variables, we know about that. TRF, we are calling the errf method on our T, which will print out a message and fail the test. The F stands for format, which allows you to build a string with values inserted into placeholder values. When you make the test fail, it should be clear how it works. Great. Yeah, I probably need to spend some time learning about formatting strings in Go because I don't really understand how it all works or how to use it. For test, %Q is very useful as it wraps your values in double quotes. See, that's the kind of stuff like I don't know about the format conventions in C#, how you print formatted strings. Like I didn't know %Q does that. We will later explore the difference between methods and functions. Another quality of life feature of Go is the documentation. We just saw the documentation for the format package at the official package viewing website. Go also provides ways for quickly getting at the documentation offline. That's cool. Go's second tool for viewing documentation is the package site command, which powers Go's official package viewing website. You can install package site with Go install blah 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 blah, then run it with package site -open star. Go's install command will download the source files from that repository and build them into an executable binary. For default home installation of Go, okay, if you have not already, great. The vast majority of the standard library has excellent documentation with examples. Navigating to localhost 8080 testing would be worthwhile to see what's available to you. Oh, I guess assuming I've installed the package thing. I'm not going to do that right now. All right. Hello. Whoopsie. Oh. It just took a minute to navigate after I clicked that link. Hello, you. Now we're getting fancy. Artwork shoes. Are you installing tests for Go, Steven? I don't know. I don't know what that refers to. I haven't installed anything like that. I'm just using a website to learn this. It's called Learn Go with Tests. Hey, yes, Steven. Came back from school today. And today wasn't half fast. Well, awesome, man. I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good day. Modern slavery is when your job pays you enough food, housing, basic needs, not enough to retire one day, and it is expected of you to spend and flex your money if you earn a lot of it, not to save it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call that like. Well, I guess I kind of would. I mean, the Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender. And so, yeah, there is something to being there is some truth in these statements about being somewhat of an economic slave in one way or the other. But it isn't slavery in the classic sense of that word, because even if you are beholden to a job and making a certain dollar amount every month, you do have a lot of freedom and a lot of choice. But yeah, if you want a halfway decent life, yeah, you've got to show up and you got to earn a living. And yes, unfortunately, some jobs don't pay you enough to ever really escape that rat race. And I think so as an individual, that's sort of the battle you're up against all the time, is you're up against this battle of how do I live my life in such a way, or how do I have the discipline that allows me to reach some sort of escape velocity from this hamster wheel that we're stuck on. And not very many people ever do, you know. Norse, okay, Steven, how's your day so far? Oh yeah, my day's great, man. It just started though for me. Like I've only been up for an hour, roundabouts an hour now. But yeah, no complaints. We're making progress with Go, and we're learning about how to write tests. I spent 15 minutes trying to run my first test because I named the file incorrectly, but I figured that out. So, it's good. Stephen, you are lucky you can easily get out of the cycle one day. I hope so. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was easy, you know. I definitely was afforded a lot more privileges than a lot of people in this world, you know. Just just I got lucky. I was born in the United States. I was born to white middle class parents with decent incomes, right? So I was born in a nice small, not small but not big city, right? Good schools. I had access to a lot of things that other people don't. So yeah, I've definitely had some privileges. Hey Luke, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you. Um, the protagonista. Now that's a username. So yeah, so I definitely had some privileges. It still takes a lot of, it still takes a lot of determined and intentional choices to live counter to other people, right? So like for example, you know, my wife was a stay-at-home mom. When we made that decision, I think I was making $43,000 a year, which, if you know anything about the cost of living in the United States, is not that much money for two adults with two little kids, or one little kid at the time, and then we added a second kid after that. So we had to be very deliberate with the way we like built our lifestyle. Like we didn't buy a home. We only own one car. Um, we don't take vacations. You know what I mean? We don't live like the classic American consumeristic lifestyle, right? So you definitely, and we've, we've definitely gotten questions and looks and things from people, both from our family and from friends. Um, I just think it's all relative at the end of the day, but no matter what you do, it's always gonna, anytime you try to swim upstream or swim in a different direction than everybody else is swimming in, it requires effort for sure. Nice to hear. I still have homework to do. Super busy. Well, get to that homework, Norsik. Let's go. Put the homework to bed so you can go do what you want, right? Renee White is a big one. I'll admit that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, um, I would never ignore all the leg ups I've had in life just out of sheer luck, you know? Like I didn't, I had nothing to do with to who I was born and to where I was born, you know? So I would never. 43K sounds not bad. It wasn't bad, but when you're gonna take on supporting a wife and two kids on that salary, it was difficult. Yeah, it was difficult. Life is a chess match, but you get random amount of pieces when you start. Yes, this is a good way to look at it, Suas. That is a very good way to look at it. Yeah. You don't you get random pieces to start and in random places. I think even more so, right? Not only do you get random pieces, but they're placed all differently throughout the board, right? Some people are like born into almost like a checked situation, right? Unfortunately. One Tap Games. Is the CS50's Harvard University free Python course worth taking in your opinion? I think it is. I've gone through it. I've not gone through the course, but I've watched all of the YouTube videos and I thought it was great. I also, One Tap Games, I usually tell people to go check out Python for Everybody by Dr. Chuck. Um, the link for that, if you're curious, is, let's see if I can remember this chat, py4e.com. That's another good resource. For success, how much matters, or sorry, for success, how much luck matters in life success? Oh, it plays a role for certain. Um, Success is largely preparation meets opportunity, right? And so I think that's luck kind of summed up, right? Is the luck is the opportunity part, and the preparation is making sure that whenever the thing happens, that you're ready for it, right? Oh, Stefan refilled his coffee. Let's go. The more you practice, the luckier you get. Yes, 100%. And I think there's also things you can do while you're preparing that increases the chances of opportunities showing up in your life, right? Like I said, like going to meetups, networking with people, putting your work out there, showing yourself, continuing to show up in places where people can see you and get to know you helps increase those opportunities. So there's definitely things that you can do to influence the luck, but there's also just like luck is a thing, right? I mean, imagine being born at a time in which you started working prior to the internet bubble and you got your first job and you opened a 401k or a Roth IRA or an IRA in general, and you started putting in 15% of your income, right, post or pre-tax, and you did that all the way through, I don't know, pre-99 through 2011. I mean, you started working and earning at one of the best times in the US economy in history, and you did nothing. That was just luck. You just like, it's just timing. You know what I mean? You got to if you invested through that time period, you survived two of the largest financial crashes in US history. But if you stayed invested, you also participated in some of the biggest returns in the stock market that we've ever seen in history. So it's like, I don't know, man. Some things are just luck. You know? Some things are just luck. 199, the average isn't hard to beat. Prep opportunity, just being better than that. Well, that goes a long way. Yeah. People don't set the bar very high. I will agree with that. Thank you. I will check it out. Awesome. Yeah, go for it, man. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like Dr. Chuck too. Dr. Chuck has he's a professor and he has a PhD, but he communicates in a very he communicates in a very plain spoken way. You know, he talks a lot like how I would imagine my grandpa or maybe like my uncle would talk if they were teaching me about computer science or teaching me about programming, which I really like. Like he sounds much more like a blue collar person than he does a white collar person, which resonates with me a lot. So I think you'll like Dr. Chuck. Also, Steven, any upcoming projects? For me, it's the distro with LAMP in a 10-game series I'm making. No real projects. I've been continuing to work on the Casper thing in the evenings. So I've been doing that. I started working on a YouTube API wrapper service that I can basically use to authenticate once against the YouTube API and then use that one authenticated account or app to access the API instead of having like all these separate one-off scripts that basically do the same thing just so they can make authenticated API requests. So I started working on that a little bit. I'd still like to build the Buy Me a Coffee site so that it's integrated with Stripe. I'd still like to do that. There's just not enough time in the day, you know, between shit going on at work and then, you know, want to be a present husband and father and then also doing the streaming thing. I run out of hours. But yeah, there's a long list of things I'd like to work on, and I'm just trying to go through it as best I can one at a time, you know. I'll blow my nose real quick. One sec. That's very interesting, Stephen. You could add options like Americano, Cappuccino, and list the amount based on local Starbucks. That'd be pretty cool. The the listing the amounts based on local prices for coffee, that would be a really cool idea for a buy me a coffee site. I don't know if that's something coffee already does, that KOFI site, but that, like the other day when I donated to, or when I bought Dylan Turner, the guy that built the lo-fi generator, this guy. So when I went and bought him a coffee, I thought I was buying him 10, I thought I was giving him 10 US dollars. But then it turned out he's in Australia, so there was a conversion. Let's see, 10 US dollars to AU dollars, I think. Yeah, but then there was a conversion, and I didn't realize that that was 15 Australian dollars. And then I was like, oh shit, well, maybe $10 isn't enough for a coffee in Australia. And I didn't realize that. So that would be kind of cool if you had a website that kind of made that more clear or front and center. Because I thought he was in the US, but he's not. That was my bad. But yeah. It's just, man, I'm not trying to make excuses at all either. There's only 24 hours in the day, you know, and you got to prioritize, and some things get left on the cutting room floor. This gave me a good project idea for the future. Nice. Need to get some new books this month? Ah, yes. Books are wonderful. We actually have so we have some pretty cool libraries where I live, and they actually have an app. It's called Libby that they participate in, and you can use it to check out ebooks and audiobooks. And I love it. I love it. I use it all the time. My wife uses it too. My kids use it. I mean, I have Audible and Kindle and all that stuff, but it's nice to be able to use your local library. Hold on. Opie? Opie? You alright, buddy? Huh. He just got up and walked away. If you can get enough viewers, we need one for as many countries as we can find, and list the coffee prices each month and put it as an API called coffee prices. a crowdsourced service. All right, now that we have a test, we can iterate on our software safely. In the last example, we wrote the test after the code had been written so that you could get an example of how to write a test and declare a function. From this point on, we will be writing tests first. Write your tests first, damn it. I think you guys know my opinion on TDD. I just made a video on my channel about TDD. And I kind of have I think I have a little bit subtler take than always writing your tests first, but for the most part, I agree with this idea. Our next requirement is to let us specify the recipient of the greeting. Let's start by capturing these requirements in a test. This is basic test-driven development and allows us to make sure our test is actually testing what we want. When you retrospectively write tests, there is the risk that your test may continue to pass even if the code doesn't work. That's right. That's why it should always be red, green, right? Now, run go test. You should have a compilation error. There we go. So we'll pass in Stephen, and we should expect Stephen. And if we do go test, whoops, not got test, go test. Too many arguments and call to hello. Yes, it did indeed fail, as you predicted. When using a statically typed language like Go, it is important to listen to the compiler. The compiler understands how your code should snap together and work so you don't have to. In this case, the compiler is telling you what you need to do to continue. We have to change our function hello to accept an argument. Laura J, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. Edit the hello. Luca, thanks for subbing. You guys are too kind, man. It's really nice that you. I think we're quickly approaching. I think 5,000 subs. So thank you so much for subscribing. I don't even know what to do to celebrate getting to 5,000 subs, but it feels meaningful. It feels like it deserves a celebration of some kind. But thank you very much. Okay. So they want us to kind of do this incrementally. So we're gonna update this to have a signature of name string, and then this is gonna complain. So we'll say world, but this will compile, but it won't pass because obviously we're not using it in our code. So now we say, now when your test runs, you should see something like got hello world, want hello Chris. Yep. We finally have a compiling program, but it is not meeting our requirements according to the test. Let's make the test pass by using the name argument and concatenating it with hello. When you run the test, they should now pass. Normally, as part of the TDD cycle, we should now refactor. Unless it's, you don't always need to refactor, right? I mean, if it works, it works. So we'll do plus name. I'm so proud of myself. I didn't type a semicolon right then. And we passed. Look at us. We're a Go developer, and we know how to practice TDD. Killing it. Killing it. It says the compiler is QA, but sometimes I have to wrestle the compiler just to get my normal code working. Yeah, I think that's he's speaking to you as if you're somebody who doesn't really know much. I think at this point, so like the statement, the compiler understands how your code should snap together and work. Yeah, I don't know if the compiler really necessarily understands in the way that you would think it understands, right? But it does give you feedback, right? It does give you feedback. Imagine 5,000 people who complimented you. Yeah, I don't know if every sub reflects somebody complimenting you, but I mean, it is quite a few people. I mean, at the beginning of the year, my channel had 20 subs on it, 21 subs. So the fact that even 100 people took the time to click a subscribe button on my channel is kind of wild to me, especially because having a YouTube channel isn't like new for me, at least. I've had a YouTube channel for a decade now, you know, making content on it regularly for that decade. And I only had 21 people. I mean, I guess the content was bad, I guess is what that means. I have no idea. Why is it that when I want to upgrade my PC, RAM prices go crazy? I don't know. PC parts always seem expensive to me personally. I've never built my own PC, but I just bought a NAS, and so I had to buy like really big hard drives for it. Just the old spinning disk, you know, old school spinning disk hard drives, and that was crazy expensive. I mean, each drive was like $400. So I don't know. PC parts just seem insanely expensive to me in general. A note on source control. At this point, if you are using source control, which you should, I would commit the code as it is. We have working software backed by a test. I wouldn't push to main though, because I plan to refactor next. It is nice to commit at this point in case you somehow get into a mess with refactoring. Have you guys ever done this to yourself? Where you do finally get something working, and then immediately you start moving things around before committing, and then the shit stops working, and you're like, wait a minute, what did I change to break all this? Yeah, I've done that. So you should definitely commit when things are working. There's not a lot to refactor here, but we can introduce another language feature, constants. Constants are defined like so. Okay, C# has this idea, I think, too. We can now refactor our code. After refactoring, rerun your test to make sure you haven't broken anything. Let's see. Const hello English prefix, excuse me. We did not break anything. Wonderful. It's worth thinking about creating constants to capture the meaning of values and sometimes aid performance. Yeah, this one, to me, this is more important than performance, in my opinion. Capture the meaning of values. Whew, that one, like magic strings and magic numbers, no bueno. Just give it a name. Like, describe it. Describe it with a name. What does this number do? What's the point of this number? Renell, that's why I commit like a freak. So do I. So do I. Like it's funny because I watch the developers at work commit, and they don't commit as frequently as I do. And so recently, I've started to kind of work in our code base a little bit more than historically I have. And when I push things up to remote, I probably have 2 or 3 times the commits that they do. Um, so I don't know if they're squashing their commits or what, but I try to make commits very atomic, right? Like I try to be very disciplined about like make a change, create a commit message that explains the change, right? And I try to group the files that were changed that were all kind of tied to the same reason for a change together, right? So, but yeah, I'm kind of a commit freak too. We need t-shirts, commit freak t-shirts. Yeah. This seems like it should be a thing. We need Goblin or yeah, Coffee Goblin and Commit Freak T-shirts. Uh, whenever I finally have some merch, I need to have a list of ideas for the merch. You don't require previous information to learn current information is the best kind of teacher. What do you think? I think that's true in some cases, but I think sometimes it helps to have context. Like I'm always super jealous of people who have been in technology, like web developers who were there when the internet was introduced, right? Or web developers who were there when HTTP became a thing. Like I'm super jealous of those people that have that context. They have all that prior knowledge about like why things are the way they are because I was there when these things became the way they are. That always makes me super jealous. So I would agree you probably don't always need previous information, but man, it sure does help sometimes. Darius, hey, so what is that you're programming on? Oh, this is NeoVim. I think you're talking about this, Darius, right? NeoVim. So this is I'm in Windows Terminal, and my shell of choice is PowerShell, and then I have NeoVim, which is like a terminal-based text editor. That's what I'm actually typing the code into is NeoVim. I don't know how to use Git yet. Oh, once you learn Git, you'll love it. It's super nice. Some of the commands are very archaic, and for the vast majority of daily operations, especially if you're just a solo developer, you'll just basically use like 3 commands. You'll use like git add, git commit, and then git push if you've got a remote repository. Like those are kind of like the three main ones you'll use, but there are a lot of interesting things you can do when you need to, right? Like when you start interacting with a code base where other people are contributing and you need to like move changes from one branch to another, or you need to like put your changes on top of another branch that somebody else made. Like say you both created a branch from the same branch, but now you want to put your changes on top of their changes. Like you can do lots of crazy stuff. I'm not really much of a Git ninja. I have to look up a lot of the more complex commands, but it's a really, really nice tool. AI is becoming a thing. MCP is becoming. You think those things are becoming? I think those things already are, Suhas. Do you feel like one of those people in the 90s seeing the world change? I do not know if generative AI or LLMs are going to have the same impact on the world that, say, the internet did. I do think they are going to have an impact. I'm just not certain it's going to be of the same size as the internet. From an economic perspective, from an investing standpoint, yes, I feel very much like that we are sitting at like 1999 or 2000 in terms of like where we are in this particular cycle. I think we're at the point in this new technology cycle where this technology is meaningful, it's very impactful, it's very useful, and it's going to be here for a long time. But I think there's a ton of hype in the system. I think there's a lot of fabricated demand in the system. I'm even seeing that. I'm seeing that anecdotally, professionally, as somebody who's working at a company who is building AI into their platform and a product, and listening to the feedback that we're getting from the marketplace about how useful companies are viewing AI. Like I'm not totally convinced that all the demand that people say is there for AI is actually there. So as somebody who invests in the market, I'm excited. Man, I have been working for 15 years writing code in architecture, mostly back end. Nowadays I don't want to do anything, but I have to do job for family. What would you recommend? Hey, I'm kind of in your same boat, man. I mean, I don't want to have a job if it wasn't for my family, I'd make very different professional choices, I think. But yeah, as a father and a husband, my top priorities are to provide and protect for my family. So I think my recommendation would be to make sure you provide and protect for your family, and then you can figure out what makes you happy after that. After that. um, maybe there's a way to pivot away from what you're currently doing professionally into something that interests you more. But I definitely wouldn't sacrifice your ability to provide to do that. But that's just me. I mean, everyone's life is different. You have to make choices that align with your goals and your values, right? What's important to you. Maybe not always for the better. Yeah. There's always trade-offs. Always trade-offs. Because I'm coming from PLC stuff, they don't really use it. Ah, interesting. I forgot that you come from the PLC background. So PLC people don't use source control. That's fascinating. What about personal robots for everyone? Personal robots would be awesome. Does it like help you practice? Does it work with C++? Because I'm teaching myself the language. Yeah, you can use NeoVim. I mean, I don't know if it helps you practice. I guess it could help you practice if you enjoy working with NeoVim more than you do other text editors, right? Because I feel like if you enjoy your tools a lot, you'll want to use them more. So maybe that'll drive more practice kind of thing. But doesn't like explicitly, I guess, help you practice. It does work with C++, so if you wanted to set up NeoVim as your editor of choice for C++, you definitely could. Do you think computers will ever be conscious? I have no idea. Like feel pain, have emotions, free will? I have no idea. I have no idea. That would be pretty wild if they ever did. Luke Skywalker. What's up, Luke Skywalker? Nice username. And also, Luke, thanks for being a member. Appreciate you. Anurag, thank you for that. Of course, Anu. I don't know how helpful my answer was, but as somebody who kind of finds himself in a similar position in life where I have a family, I have dependents, I have people who are counting on me, you know. You gotta it's difficult, but you gotta try to find a way to balance, right? You gotta balance your responsibilities and duties to them with who you with you, right? With your ambitions and your desires and the things you want to do. Um, I think the thing that I always tell myself too, whenever I feel frustrated about that, whenever I feel like limited, I don't know if that's the right word, but there's definitely moments where you think, man, if I didn't have this situation, what would I do differently, right? And I think that the important thing to remember is one is like you don't want that alternative. You don't want to not have your kiddos and your family, like they're your biggest blessings in life. But I think the second thing to remember is that this is all a season of life, right? Like your kids will eventually grow up and they will have their own lives and their own things, you know. And so your time, your responsibilities will change, right? These things are temporary. They are passing. And so you should enjoy them while you have them and be excited for when the next chapter shows up. 199 pivot into consulting. That's not a bad idea. They do fuck all. Silas, you are very focused on your kids. Do you think you will lose your focus if you grow? If you grow, do you still care about them when you are older? Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you'll never. I don't think you'll ever, as a parent, not care about your child. But I think actually the hardest thing as a parent is you have to somehow come to terms with the fact that the best way to love them is by stepping back and allowing them to kind of take their place in the world, so to speak. Right? So, like, as much as I'd like to create the most comfy life experience for my two sons, I know that's not what's best for them. Right? They need to have adversity. They need to be challenged. They need to go into the world and make their own place and stand on their own 2 feet. Right? That while that will be harder, that is what will make them better. It will turn them into the person they're supposed to be. So for sure, yeah, your kids will always be a focus. I don't think you'll ever get around that, and your job as a parent is to try to prepare them to create their place in the world and be ready to step into that place. It feels weird when you pronounce names differently, especially Indian ones. Not offended or anything, but it's just funny. Yeah, my dumb American tongue cannot pronounce things correctly. Thank you. By the way, question on if computers could be conscious. It definitely can. I mean, I think about it. We're just AIs made human. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it depends on what you think makes us what we are, right? If you think that can be recreated in a machine, as time will tell. Suhas, what a strange cue, bro. What's up, Sam? Good to see you. The question should be, should we allow a future where computers can have emotions? Yeah, that's probably, yeah, Skynet. Yeah, probably want to think before we turn Skynet loose on the world. I mean, we just computers with flesh and blood. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I maybe. I don't know. Sam, format.sprintf %v hello English prefix name. Oh, is this the more succinct way to format a string? Let's try it. And we have tests so we can verify if this works. %v. So what does, hey Sam, what does %v do that? Why use %v? I don't know anything about formatting strings in Go. So you're gonna have to hold my hand with that one. Name. Oh no. Got hello, Steve. Oh, I must have an extra space in there. There we go. Okay, look at Sam. Suhasi, you're dark this morning. I shall watch the world burn. You're bringing some dark energy, my friend. %v is variable. Ah, okay. You can specify other percent under. Yeah, somewhat like that was the thing we were talking about earlier. Is I need to do some reading up on what the percent letter refers to, like %q, %s, %v. I think there's a %d. I need to go figure out what all that means. I love lamp. Cover the camera for a second for an edit? No, I'm not gonna. What the fuck? Lamp? Why are you, why are you trying to make me do stuff? The next requirement is when our function is called with an empty string, it defaults to printing hello world rather than hello star. Start by writing a new test. Okay. This I can do. Why is this complaining? Not enough arguments in call to hello. Too many arguments in call to hello. What? Is something screwed up with my LSP? I need to delete the log size. Okay, so we have GitHub Copilots attached. Who else do we have attached? We have Go PL. Do we have 2 Go PLSs attached? We do. We have 2. We have 2. Why do we have 2? LSP stop Go PLS. Huh. LSP info. Do you guys see this? What's happening right now? It's like it's stuck in a loop. LSP start Go PLS. That was weird. I don't know how I got 2 LSPs attached to the same buffer. There must be an error in my configs. I want to make you famous. Edits are popular, you know. Well, I mean, you can make all the edits you want, but I'm not going to cover my camera. Sam skill issues. There are a lot of skill issues on my stream. Yes, there are, for sure. Alright, so we're going to say t.run. So this is how you, I guess, create like a test suite. So you got t.run, then you name it, saying hello to people, and then you pass a callback. So this is very similar to like how you define tests in TypeScript or JavaScript. You push a callback here, and then we can move all this into here. Why is that not formatting? Did I not have a formatter? I thought I did. Maybe I don't. And then we can add another test, t.run, and this one is going to say hello world when an empty string is passed. Or when an empty string is supplied. Func t is a pointer to testing t. And then here we're going to say, what are we going to say? Does anybody ever use the horizontal scroll wheel on their mouse? Because I forget mine's there. Expected. We expect hello world. And the result is hello empty string. Look at me being a Go developer. I'm going to create a little function here called check result that has the expected string and the result string. We also need t. We need t, which is a pointer to testing.t. Check result. We need to pass in t, expected, and result. Test setup failed. Oh goodness, do I have a formatting issue somewhere? What line was it on? Line 20. I don't know what I did here. Let's see, got test, say hello when an empty string is supplied. Hello test, got hello, want hello world. Okay, so now we have to fix this. So here we are introducing another tool in our testing arsenal, subtests. Sometimes it's useful to group tests around a thing and then have subtests describing different scenarios. This is a helpful thing. What's a mouse? Steven, if you took over the world, what would you do and what changes you would make, like abolish poverty, declare there are no borders? First and foremost, I don't want to take over the world, and I do not want to be responsible for the world. I just want to be responsible for myself and my family. Let's see. If I could, though, yeah, if I could, probably get rid of diseases. I'd probably put a lot of effort into making sure that people have food, water, healthcare, a clean place to live. You know? Like these basic things that give us a lot of dignity in our life. It just seems like there's so much abundance on Earth, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be able to have those things, assuming they want them. which I think most human beings would want them. Um, yeah, I just don't. Yeah, but there's much abundance as there is on this planet. I don't understand why there's parts of the human race that are still living in squalor, or have food insecurity, or don't know where they're gonna drink a clean cup of water today. That just seems wild to me. Um, I know those are big, complex problems, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to boil things down to simplicity and say, we are not going to accept that, and we're going to do something to fix it, right? A mouse is a type of small rodent usually found in houses. Yeah, I mean, I do use NeoVim. What's a mouse? Kind of get annoyed at work when people ask me about AI. I always give the same response, however. Yeah, AI is annoying. I'm totally ready for a new technology to come along and take over the scene. Sam, how are we on this tangent? We are learning Go, people. I have no idea how we got here. But we're here. Actually, if we all chipped in just a little, we can solve world hunger relatively easily. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think any of it's easy myself. Like, I understand there's a lot of complexity to all these things, right? Um, but man, human beings, when we want to do something, we sure can mobilize a lot of brain power to do things. You know, I think of like the Manhattan Project when it came to the nuclear bomb. I think of like the way the United States mobilized its entire society around the war effort for World War II, World War I. I think sometimes people like to make things seem too difficult of problems to solve so that they don't have to solve them. You know, I think that's just humans being humans, right? Maybe it will lead to what's ASI? Yeah, I think AGI would be super super cool, but what's ASI? I mean, I totally want a Jarvis. Ever since I saw the movie Iron Man, I would love to have a Jarvis. All right. While we have a failing test, let's fix the code using an if. If name equals empty string, name equals world. If we run our test, we should see it satisfies the new requirement and we haven't accidentally broken the other functionality. It's important that your tests are clear specifications of what the code needs to do. But there is repeated code when we check if the message is what we expect. Refactoring is not just for production code. Now the tests are passing, we should refactor our tests. Oh, he refactored his test, just like I did. T.helper. I wonder what T.helper does. What we have done here, we refactored our assertion into a new function. This reduces duplication and improves the readability of our test. We need to pass in T-star testing so that we can tell the test code to fail when need to. For helper functions, it's a good idea to accept a testing.tb, which is an interface that testing.t and testing.b both satisfy. So you can call helper functions from a test or a benchmark. Don't worry if words like interface mean nothing to you right now. It will be covered later. Why is this needed though? This is interesting because when I refactored my code, I obviously didn't know this, so I did not do that, right? Also, this should probably be lowercase, shouldn't it? Since this is just used here in this. Why is tester.helper is needed to tell the test suite that this method is a helper. By doing this, when it fails, the line number reported will be an R function call. Ooh, that is helpful. Rather than inside our test helper. This will help other developers track down problems more easily. If you still don't understand, comment it out, make a test fail, and observe the test output. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's super cool. Okay. So we need to change this to TB, and then we need to say t.helper. Is my LSP working? Because I don't think I got IntelliSense on that. Huh. T dot, huh. It's not giving me any. T dot, huh. I should get IntelliSense, shouldn't I, for that stuff? T dot helper. Let's see if I restart NeoVim. My daily routine: get up, go to school, watch Steven's live stream on the train. Well, hey man, I'm glad to have you, and I'm glad to be a part of your morning routine. It's nice to have a routine, I'll tell you that. I'm a very routine person. Cannot use T as tests in arguments to check test, does not implement. What? This documentation just said it did. Oh. Pointer. I need to figure out what this error message is. Oh, we still haven't fixed our code. We'll say, yeah, so Copilot's already seen this code before. Okay, let's go up here and we'll say constant empty string equals empty string. Steven, do you think I'm a good person? Am I annoying? Any advice or improvement? Yeah, I think you seem like a... Uh-oh. What's this about here? Look. We failed to get broadcast. Why did we fail to get... I wonder if I got rate limited. It's possible. Let's see if I can fix this. How do I fix this? Maybe we just try to reauthorize my application. Huh. That was weird. Learn Go with tests. Oh no, OBS disconnected. Also, Steven, if I'm too annoying, please don't shadow ban me. Just tell me and I will find a way to be... I don't think you guys are annoying. Yeah. I don't have an issue with... I mean, if I have... I'm dropping frames. OBS is disconnecting. I'm having all kinds of network struggles over here. Oh my gosh, OBS cutting off Steven's advice. No, no advice. Just if I have a problem with you, I'll let you know. You know, I don't have any problem with doing that. Okay, discipline. Ooh, discipline. Discipline. You must have discipline. Let's go over the cycle again. Write a test, see that it fails, check the error message, write enough code to make the test pass, refactor. On the face of it, this may seem tedious, but sticking to the feedback loop is important. Not only does it ensure that you have relevant tests, it helps you ensure you design good software by refactoring with the safety of tests. Seeing the test fail is an important check because it also lets you see what the error message looks like. As a developer, it can be very hard to work with a code base when failing tests do not give a clear idea as to what the problem is. I'm sure that's incredibly frustrating. By ensuring your tests are fast and setting up your tools so that running tests is simple, you can get into a state of flow when writing your code. By not writing tests, you are committing to manually checking your code by running your software, which breaks your state of flow. This is so important, right? Like the minute you find yourself opening a web page for the 100th time to check if a button does what you want the button to do, oh my goodness, you need to have written some automated tests, my friend. You won't be saving yourself any time, especially in the wrong one. This is why people though don't write tests and they fall back to running the software and manually checking things, because at the moment up front, you feel like you're saving time. You feel like you're saving time because you're not having to write code to test the code you wrote to implement the feature. And you think, well, I can just open the browser or I can just run the tool and check if it does what I expect it to do now. But you're wasting so much time by running it and checking it manually again and again and again and again. And to his point, you're getting out of flow. You're switching context, right? This fools so many people, and is the reason why so much code is untested. Goodness me, we have more requirements. We now need to support a second. Goodness me, that's so wholesome. We now need to support a second parameter specifying the language of the greeting. If a language is passed in that we do not recognize, just default to English. We should be confident that we can easily use TDD to flesh out this functionality. Write a test for a user passing in Spanish, add it to the existing test suite. Okay, remember not to cheat. Test first. No cheating. When you try to run the test, the compiler should complain because you are calling hello with 2 arguments rather than 1. Okay. Fix the compilation problems by adding another string argument to hello. Cool. Yeah. Okay. We can use if here to check the language is equal to Spanish, and if so, change the message. This is a very bad way to implement translation. But it works for simple examples like this. I have ADHD, so I don't know what discipline is. All I know is dopamine. I go where it will go. I always tell my wife that. I always say, so did this stop giving you dopamine? Steven, artists worth it if I am the only developer and I write it in a functional paradise? I'm not sure what that, I'm I'm not sure what that question is, Suhas. I apologize, man. I don't understand. That was the most soul I've seen in docs. Goodness me. Yeah. Goodness me. It was so wholesome. Goodness me. I wish developers really reacted that way to changing requirements or new requirements. Developers of Go definitely had their fun. I don't think this was the Go developers. This is a gentleman named Chris. He looks like he's based in the UK. This guy. Chris James. This is the fella who which he's also on Blue Sky. Wrote Learn Go with tests, which some people like. This is true. Some people do like it. So far, I like it. I think it's a very cool way to go about learning a language. Although I'm very slow. Where were we? We were adding another requirement. Excuse me. More coffee. More coffee. The test should now pass. Now it is time to refactor. You should see some problems in the code, magic strings, some of which are repeated. Try and refactor it yourself with every change. Make sure you rerun the test to make sure your refactoring isn't breaking anything. Write a test asserting that if you pass in French, you get bonjour. When you have lots of if statements checking a particular value, it is common to use a switch statement instead. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would just use a map at this point. I don't even think I'd use a switch or an if. I'd just use a map. You could also argue that maybe our function is getting a little big. The simplest refactor for this would be to extract some functionality into another function. A few concepts. In our function signature, we have made a named return value. This will create a variable called prefix in your function. Oh, I hate this. This is so stupid. Why would you write code this way? So you named your return value and then you did a naked return. That to me is the most confusing shit I've ever seen in a programming language that I've learned or written. I just find that so confusing. I guess people really do this in Go. Like they do this. This is a thing. Because Chris obviously seems like a very knowledgeable developer. I wonder if he did that just to illustrate that you could do it, but for whatever reason, I do not like it. Okay, so let's write this code then. Let's add some tests. Yep. We need to add this one. I had such a visceral reaction to that. Let's check result, and this is going to be result expected. Okay, so we need to pass in. We need to refactor our hello to take in a language. Language is string. And we need to pass in empty one here, and we also have to go up here and do the same thing. Okay. So if we run our tests, they will fail. Go test. Whoops. Go test, like that. Steven, what is your deepest, darkest secret? Yeah, that's probably not something I'm gonna say on a stream. Real devs are mostly fuck more requirements. Yeah, I would say that's the most accurate. Just, I meant test is worth if I only use functional paradigm. I think testing is always worth, Suhas. I don't think the type of paradigm you take to programming changes the value of tests. What's up, Wilo Gamer Pro? Good to see you. Hi, I'm late. I don't know if you were late because I saw your messages from 12 hours ago. There was a message when I started my stream from like 4:30 yesterday. Suhas, every time you switch between code and documentation, look at chat, please. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that, Suhas. I'm probably just going to do what I want to do. Kogo, what's up, man? Kogo, are you doing Rust? No, I'm learning Go. That's what I'm doing right now. Oh, why? Just cause I'm a 32-year-old human being who has free will. Cause you can just do stuff. You can just learn things. I feel taught boring Go. Now I'm doing Rust. Nice. Well, that's awesome, dude. You learn Rust and I'll learn Go, and we'll both be better for it, I'm sure, at the end of it. My real plan with Go is to do Advent of Code in December. I guess so. That's the real reason I'm learning Go. How can I get remote internship? I don't know if I'm the best person to tell you how to do that, man. I've never gotten a remote internship in another country. Well, I guess, Kogo, I'm assuming you don't live in the United States, but I've never like tried to get a remote internship where I live one place and the company lives another, or the company's headquarters somewhere else. So I'm not really sure I'm the best to give context or give advice for that. I guess if it was me, like if I was just role playing that scenario, I'd probably do a lot of research about the companies I want to intern with. Particularly not only the companies themselves, but the technologies they use. And then I would try to make sure that my skill set aligns with what they're doing at their company. Then I would cold apply, like I'd find jobs and probably cold apply. And then in addition to cold applying, I would probably do a little bit of LinkedIn stalking and try to find people who work for that company whose job titles lead me to believe they might have some influence in the internships I want. And I'd probably try to reach out to them. And then I think lastly, if I could find a phone number for the company, I'd probably call that company and see if I can't get in touch with somebody and be like, hi, sorry, this is really strange, but I see you guys have openings for internships and I'd really like to talk to somebody about them. You know, I mean, the most of the time, all the jobs I've ever had, I've been very aggressive about following up and getting in touch with people through phone, as well as just going through to the businesses and like, hi, my name's Steven. I submitted a resume. I'd just like to check the status of that resume. I know that's a little bit more difficult to execute on in a remote setting. So the best you can do in those situations are like call, email, reach out. What type of project can I make for startups? Any advice? I don't know. I think it's highly contextual, Kogo. Like, what jobs do you want? What companies you want to work for? What job do you want to do? I think that context decides what projects you want to build. Do open source contribution live. You think I should do that? Yeah, I have some open source stuff I need to work on. Kogo full stack developer. Yeah, but full stack developer is really broad, right? Full stack development, like what? You're gonna do PHP? You're gonna work in Laravel? You're gonna use Next.js with a Go backend? You know, like that. The technology, all those things are very specific to whatever companies you work for. So I think Node.js. So I think you need to figure out what companies hire Node.js developers, right? So what you want to write? You want to have a front end in Next.js and a back end in Node.js. Is that what you're saying? That's what your stack's going to be. I think if that's the case, then you just need to do a little bit of research and find companies that use that stack, and then try to build projects that are compelling to them. The bytes layer, ooh, Node backend. What? What's wrong with the Node backend? I don't think there's anything wrong with the Node backend. Sometimes it's fun to build backends in Node. The bytes layer had a visceral reaction to that one. Oh man, these yawns are getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so how would I make this pass? I think if this was me, this is how I'd do it. I think I'm gonna have... Can constants be maps in Go? Or can constants only be primitive types? Constants in... Can a map be a constant in Go? Okay, that's C#'s the same way. Can't use complex types for constants. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say greeting, or maybe prefix map is equal to make map, which is of type string. That. Expected declaration. Okay, obviously I've done something wrong. Okay. Oh, can you not use? You can't use shorthand in the global. So I need to do var this, and then I'll do literal. That, and then what I'll do is I'll say, okay, English. If you give me English, or actually this will just be. I'll make this the default case. So this is the default case is, how do I assign to this? Okay. The default case is going to be hello English prefix. And then we're going to have English, which is also going to be hello English prefix. And then we're going to have Spanish, which is going to be hello Spanish prefix. And this will be hola, hola, hola. Why is this complaining? Oh. And then I think what I'll do here is we'll just say we'll say prefix is going to be equal to prefix map language. And then here Change this to prefix, that. And then we'll do go test. And everything passes. There we go. Yeah, that's probably how I would do it. I'd just use a map. Then I don't have to write a switch statement. I don't have to write a bunch of if statements. And then adding another language is as easy as just adding an entry to my map. The Byte Slayer, what are you writing? We're going through these examples of learning Go with tests is what we're doing right now. I demand you get more coffee. Yeah, I kind of debated, but it's 6:42 already, and so if I go get coffee now, 7 o'clock will basically be here when I come back. Steven, if I give you 1 million, will you be my butler? Dude, if you gave me $1 million, yes, I would be your butler. $1 million would change my life, man. It would change me and my family's life forever. $1 million? Holy shit. Kogo, how to manage coding in multiple languages? It's just practice, you know, and you're gonna find, like, if I go a while without writing TypeScript, or I go a while without writing C#, or Python's the worst one because I only use Python in every once in a big while. You'll just find that it takes you a minute to kind of get back up to speed, to kind of bring the knowledge from your brain back into your fingers. But yeah, multiple languages is fine. It's just whatever one you're using the most is the one that's going to be at the front of your mind, and that's normal. The Byte Slayer. Pretty much any language is better for backends. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's been a lot of very capable backends that have probably been built in JavaScript, you know? What is your view on the best language? Rust? My favorite language is C#. So that would probably be, I guess, what I would say is the best language. I've not written every language though, right? So it's hard to have an opinion. It's hard to have an opinion that something is the best when I know there's tons of languages I've never written or worked with. So it's, you know, when I say my favorite language is C#, that always has to be couched in the fact that I've not written all the languages that are out there. See, Steven, I want to know your view on Rust. Just curious, since I got your stream recommended since recently, and I see you only use C# and now G9. Oh, I think G9 is the G9 is just the name of my computer. I don't only use C#. I use C#, TypeScript, Python if you make me, and then I'm trying to learn Go right now. I spent a little bit of time trying to learn Rust at the beginning of this year, like in January. I started trying to make my way through the Rust programming language, the book, the Rust programming language book, and then I just kind of fell off. Like life happened and other things came up, and I got distracted, and I haven't really gone back to it. It seemed like an okay language. Yeah, I mean, it seemed okay. What was your first language? Mine was Python. My first language was C#. So I took programming 1 and programming 2 in college. My senior year of college, I was a biochemistry major, but as for electives to kind of round out my credits, I took programming 1 and programming 2, and that was all taught in C#. So I guess that was kind of my first language was C#. And then in 2021, when I really got serious about learning to code and building software, and I went through the free code camp curriculum, obviously I went really, really far down the whole JavaScript MERN stack rabbit hole, with C# sort of on the side. Elixir is a hidden gem, by the way. Nice. I've seen Tej. Have you guys ever heard of TJ DeVries? He's a YouTuber, creator, software engineer. He's friends with the Primogen, but I've seen him write Elixir. TJ Tej, this guy. Yeah, I've watched a couple of his streams where he was using Elixir, and it looked like a fine language. I've never used it. There's too many languages for me to spend time getting proficient, you know, in all of them. were then. Oops, I meant Go with G9. Yeah, G9 is just a computer. It's just the name of my computer. It's the name of the model of the computer, which happens to be the default name of the machine. um, but yeah, I work with C# and TypeScript mostly, JavaScript obviously because I know TypeScript, Python occasionally. Like I just used Python last week to do some basic data analysis. It's a lot easier to do like normal distribution and things with Python than Excel most of the time. What's a G9? G9 is just the model of my computer. I think he referred to it because he can see it here in my terminal prompt. But it's just the name of my computer, which also happens to be the model of the computer. It's this computer is an HP Elite Mini 800 G9. That's just the default name. All right, well, I think we made it through that lesson, right? So we can move on to the next lesson, which it looks like we're going to talk about integers. This is so I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that some of the language, like this is still, so this course is kind of assuming that I'm learning Go. It doesn't know that I just went through the tour of Go. So I feel like there's some stuff in here that's going to be redundant, but I like the fact that we're working through this using tests, because I think like being able to write tests are going to be very, very helpful when we get into doing advent of code things. So I think this is a good practice. How long is this though? That's the other thing. So this is pretty long. Iterations, right? Well, some of this might actually not be that long, but definitely this is stuff we've talked about, right? Sync, reflection, but maybe hearing it two different ways from two different sources will actually make it stick better, you know? And I'll be interested to go through this and then build an application. I don't know if we'll do this part. Maybe we'll come back to this down the road at some point. But given it's November 5th, I kind of need to pick up the pace on the learning. Sam, it's long and boring. Read a book to supplement. I like learning Go, an idiomatic approach to real-world Go. Or real-world Go programming by John Boder. You can read it in a weekend. Hold on, let me copy that real quick. Sam, is Go what you primarily work in most of the time? Is that kind of your primary? Ooh, an O'Reilly book. You know it's good when it's an O'Reilly book. Okay, let me copy this. I don't think I'm signed into. Man, it's kind of expensive, $82. Ah, that's expensive. Oh, but they've got used ones. How do I get a link? There we go. Copy link. Bookmarks. Manage bookmarks. This looks a lot like Firefox, doesn't it? How do I add one? Add bookmark. Delete. Put that guy in there. There we go. Thank you for the recommendation, Sam. I appreciate it, man. Do you all think buying an H100 or 200 is worth it? What is an H100? I don't know what that is. Is that a computer? H100? Is that like a AI computer chip or something? NVIDIA H100 GPU. It's a data. It's a chip for a data center. You're gonna buy this and put this in your own computer or one of your own data center? You got your own data center? What is the cost of one of these things? I think you should take this money and put it into an S&P 500 index fund is what I think you should do with it. Nvidia, H100 Nvidia. What? Is this what you're talking? Okay, Bite Slayer, are you being serious? This is what you're talking about? There's no way you have $200,000. You got to be pulling my leg. That or I'm looking at the wrong thing. I have my own data center, but no, you don't. You do not have your own data center. Pix or it didn't happen. That's what I say. Pix or it didn't happen. My new job requires it. Started learning 2 months ago. So how's it going, Sam? Or what language were you coming from? And then now that you're doing Go, what's been your experience, thoughts, feelings? I'm kind of curious. He's about to prove Steven. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be proven wrong. I'd love to know that there's a person in my chat that has their own data center. I mean, that's crazy. Like, one, why are you here? Two, what are you doing with this data center? Yeah. It's only a small data center, like 5 servers. Well, yeah, but like, where are you running this? Are you running this in like a rented suite? Or are you saying this is in your house? Can you really afford $200,000 GPU and stick it in your data center that runs in your house? That's crazy. Hey, what's up, Stefan? I'm back with a question for Steven. Send it, Stefan. Send your questions. Or your question. Because we only have like 7 minutes left in the stream, so I'm not gonna start more learn with Go stuff. So you're great at pull-ups, right? Well, I don't know if I'm great. I can't do a ton in a row. I can only do one proper one. Yeah, I can do like 5 in a row, maybe. Sam, last job was React plus React Native, and the backend was Node, Express, MongoDB. Okay, so very much like a MERN stack. New job is React still, but Golang and Postgres and whole other shenanigans. Ah, yeah. So do you feel like making the move from Node and Express over to Golang was difficult? Curious about that, because Go kind of looks like JavaScript when you look at it on the surface, right? The type annotations are a little different, and you got the pointer, right? You got this whole concept of pointers. My friend tells me I'm using too much arms and that I'm too far away from the bar at the top. How do I improve that? Do scapula pull-ups would help for sure. How do I practice normal ones? Just like 10 sets of 1 rep? Yeah, that would be a great way to get volume in. Rest pause. Have you ever heard of rest pause sets, Stefan? That would be a good one. I really like Stu McGill. I don't know if you know who Stu McGill is. He's kind of one of the leading back and spine researchers in the world, but pull-up. He has a really interesting way that he teaches pull-ups that I think you would probably enjoy watching. So just for like some background, just so you don't think I'm recommending you to some random person on the internet. Stuart McGill, like he is the man when it comes to like spine research, back pain research. He's got books. He works at the University of Waterloo. I've seen him present at 2 conferences I've been to. He's very knowledgeable. But this video is very good, where he goes really in depth into how you should do pull-ups. What does it properly look like to do a pull-up? I think you'd like this, Stefan. Well, yeah, so Stu McGill has worked with a lot of powerlifters and strongman competitors over the years. Like typically, if your back is fucked up, people tend to find their way to him, kind of like elbows and Tommy John. Not Tommy John. What's that doctor's name that has worked on all the professional baseball players? Dr. James Andrew. That's done all the Dr. James Andrew Tommy John. Yeah, this guy James Andrew. He's like repaired everybody's elbow or arm that has ever been a professional baseball player. But Stuart McGill's kind of the same thing, but for people that have real bad back pain. But yeah, his video on pull-ups is great. To answer your question, I would probably do something with like rest pause sets to increase your volume. Scapula pull-ups would be good. Listening to Stuart McGill talk about the McGill pull-up, that would probably be helpful. The more weight you lose, obviously, the easier pull-ups become. Like I said, I have that same problem myself. I was gonna send this guy a message. Let's see. Blue sky. Can you explain? Oh, rest pause sets. So rest pause sets is just this idea. So instead of you know how like typically in any given set, you're going to do your reps contiguously, right? So a rest pause set is basically I do 1 or 2 reps and then I pause. And typically the 1 or 2 reps is at an intensity that's pretty high, right? Like you're thinking like 75, 80% of your 1 rep max kind of intensity. And then you're going to either rack the bar, or in this case with pull-ups, you're going to stop. You're going to rest like 15, 30 seconds, and then you're going to do another 2. And then 15, 30 seconds, and do another 2, right? So that's where the whole idea of rest pause comes in to play. I want to be 130 kgs and do like 10 pull-ups. That would be pretty badass. My nightmare while learning Go was channels. Really? I found channels to be kind of cool, but I've used channels in C#, and it's a similar concept. This idea of kind of almost like an in-memory way to communicate across threads. Or I guess in that case, across Go routines. What should I do to maintain a lower body weight? Less calories. Calories in versus calories out. That determines what your weight's going to be. Yo, Steven. Sorry I haven't been tuning in. I have been having shit sleep recently. No worries, man. Sleep is the most important thing. You should focus on your sleep. Did we ever get a bite? Did Bite Slayer ever answer my question about his... I don't think I ever saw. I'm just curious how somebody with $200,000 is in my chat. I'm catching up on the chat. Oh, sorry, guys. I ended up spending 3 weeks on it and barely use them now. Well, I guess they're only super helpful if you're doing things that require a lot of communication across Go routines, right? That's why you would use channels. So if you're not doing a lot of work that requires that, there's not super helpful. The thing is, I think if I just learned how to actually use my back, I could probably do like 3 pull-ups, because chin-ups I can do like 5 to 6. Well, then the McGill pull-up will be very helpful, because a big part of the McGill pull-up is learning to recruit the right musculature and to create tension and stiffness in the right places when you're doing a pull-up. So you should definitely check out the McGill pull-ups. I think you'll find those very helpful. I kept missing the logic, especially how to control reads. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like if you're using channels, you probably don't want to control reads. You just probably want to write your code in such a way that like the readers almost act like the processors of a queue, where they just They just sit there, and whenever there's something to be read, they take it and they do something with it, right? Stefan, all right, thanks. Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, for sure. I do want to pull up, but I don't want a pull-up bar readily available. Ah, you're gonna have to get yourself one. They make some really nice like doorway pull-up bars now. All right, I think that was a good end to the stream, huh? What do you guys say? We ended on some fitness and some random conversation. We'll be back tomorrow with more Go. Let's make sure we write all this out. How many of us are still here? 10 of us. That's wonderful. I'm imagining a room of 10 people. That's a lot of people in one room. Should we end the stream the weirdest possible way? No, let's not end it weirdly. Let's just end it on a good note. And I think talking about pull-ups is a good note. More Go is always nice. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing it. I mean, I'm committed. I mean, I've told you guys 100 times now that I'm gonna do admin of code and Go. So I'm gonna do it regardless of how much Go I know. But I'd much rather be semi-effective at it, so that on December 1st I don't look like a complete idiot while trying to solve a problem. Hey Pablo, sorry about our timing. You show up and then I'm like running away. How did today go? Today was good. Yeah, I had a lot of fun learning about kind of the basics of setting up tests in Go. We didn't get terribly far. We just got through kind of the first lesson. But yeah, for the most part, it's good stuff. Oh, you're not late, Pablo. It's just timing's hard. Schedules are tough. All right, guys. I'm going to run upstairs and get more coffee, say hi to the family. I got to figure out what to do with my dog because he seems fine. But it'd probably be good to take him to the vet and get his eye checked. We'll see. More to come. I'll fill you in tomorrow on what we decided. See you, Pablo. All right, guys. Let's see. Customary wrap-up. Housekeeping. If you want to interact with us outside of stream, include that. And when I say us, I mean me or chat. Discord is the place to be. I'll drop that link in the chat there for you. Schedule-wise, I usually stream from 4:15 in the morning to about 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'll drop the schedule there. That's Central Standard Time. That will also be in the chat. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, if it's Wednesday for you. If it's Thursday for you, have a great rest of your Thursday. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye, Artwork Studios. Bye, Bite Slayer. Bye, Crow Demise. Bye, Pablo. See you, Stefan. Good luck with the pull-ups, man. Love to hear how it goes. Anybody else who's still here? See ya. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, chat.